Hi everyone. Becca and Chelsea have left me in charge. I don't know what they were thinking, but they have, and I'm pressing buttons. And so far, everything seems to be working. So today is our fitness day, and us three have know nothing about fitness, and we are quite mobile challenged. So we've got other people helping us out today. So I'm going to bring on Faye because she is going to do a bit of yoga with you guys. Welcome, Faye.
Hello.
So thank you so much for offering to come and do this for us because we have no idea when it comes to fitness or anything like that. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and why you offered to help?
Um, I offered to help because I really love the charity. I'd not heard of it. Well, I had heard of it, but I didn't know very much about it. But yeah, I've been affected by suicide, so it's a cause close to my heart, shall we say. And I always like to share this lovely location where I work from. And I find just living here makes it a bit easier to practice an attitude of gratitude. So it's nice to share it with other people as well. And,
It's definitely a beautiful background you've got there. It is lovely. Whereabouts are you?
I'm up a mountain in northern Spain.
Oh, nice. I'm
Yeah.
very jealous. I'm very jealous. Well, I'm going to put myself backstage and
Okay.
I will leave you to do your thing.
Lovely. So enjoy. Okay. Hello. So I find this all a bit weird. I'm used to teaching, and I teach mainly on Zoom, so I can see people and they can interact with me. I always find it a little bit weird doing lives where I can't see anybody. So, so bear with me if I talk to you like like you're my friends. That's because I've got imaginary friends that I need to talk to today. So anything that you need options for, I don't know how you're going to ask me, but I would give you lots of different options in case things are a bit challenging. I'll teach as if I've got different levels of people here. Anything you can't do, just sit out. I teach Pilates as well as yoga, so sometimes I mix up the names. So if I call something, I'm always calling child pose shell, because that's what we call it in Pilates. So, hopefully it won't be too confusing. And let's hope that the weather holds. So I always start my classes just settling in to the moment, just leaving any baggage that you've got at the door, and just taking a few breaths to bring yourself into the space and to kind of shift your head mood a little bit. And the power of the breath is quite an amazing thing. So we're just going to slow down the breath to start with. Just stand in a comfortable position. If you do suffer with lower back issues, sometimes that's because you might stand a little bit like this with your tailbone sticking out. So just tuck the tailbone under. Try and keep it pointing down towards the floor. Relax your shoulders, relax your thighs. And we're just going to start with some slow, deep breaths. And while we do this, if you just think of a couple of things, just tiny, tiny things that you can think of that you're grateful for today, that can really enhance the practice. So with every in-breath, you just imagine that we're getting a bit taller. I like to shut my eyes when I do this. So imagine your head getting a little bit closer to the ceiling. And with every out breath, try and maintain that length and just relax your face, relax your shoulders, relax your hands and your thighs. We're going to do another couple of breaths like that. Really expanding the rib cage, front to back and side to side. And then letting all that air out. And one more together. Now the three things that I'm grateful for today, you can't see him, but just out of camera shot is my crazy dog. He will probably join in at some point, so I might not be quite so grateful for him in a minute. But right now I'm just watching him just rolling around in the grass, living his best life. And he brings so much joy to my life, so I'm grateful for him most days. Today I'm also grateful that it's not raining, because it has got a little bit overcast today. And I'm always grateful for this stunning view. So it doesn't need to be huge, big things to be grateful for. Just anything that's made you smile a little bit, that has brightened your day, just focus on that. And it's proven to have a lot of mental health benefits. So we're going to start by taking our feet just a little bit wider and just swinging the arms. So keep the arms as floppy as you can. We're just going to help to loosen up the shoulders a little bit here. If you do spend too much time sat at a desk, this is a lovely way to just gently loosen up the shoulders, bringing in a little bit of rotation. Now, sometimes we're really focused on keeping the hips still, not now. Just swinging side to side. The movement can get bigger, but don't force it. So you can start smaller, and then as momentum builds, you'll find your arms are flinging around a bit further than they were. Let's do a couple more of those. And then coming back to stillness. And we're going to think about the hips. Now just start keeping the shoulders a bit still and just drawing some circles with the hips. I've got my hands on my hips, you don't need to have. And now I'm just going to take that movement a little bit bigger. Still focusing on the tailbone as well. So this is more Pilates than yoga, but I always bring this into whatever class I'm teaching because of that lower back pain thing. So if you are someone who's got a bit of a lordotic spine and your tailbone sticks out a lot, just be aware of that and try and keep it pointing down as we do this. Basically, it's kind of, if you think about the anatomy, if your tailbone's sticking out like that, your lower back's much more likely to be tight. So keep it pointing down, keep it stretching out the lower back. So you can increase the size of the hip circles if that feels okay. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. If it feels painful, swap what you're doing. Now we're going to go back the other way. So starting smaller again. Have your arms just loose if that feels better. You can have them up in the air if that feels better. Do what feels good to you. So we're taking those circles bigger now, making those circles bigger. You can see my knees are bending a little bit now as well. So there's no real right or wrong. Just find what feels good. Okay. Now we're going to roll down to stretch out the whole of the back line. So bring your feet hip width, bring them parallel. If you want to give yourself a bit more of a balance challenge, you can have your feet together. That's fine also. I don't know what level you're feeling today. So just check in with your posture again. Big breath in to lengthen. And then relax the chin. Just let the chin go down to the chest. So you'll already start to feel a bit of a stretch in the back of the neck here. Keep the shoulders down, keep the arms heavy. And now as we breathe out, we're just going to let the weight of the head and the weight of the arms start to bring us down towards the floor. Gently squeeze your belly as we go down. Now if you've got a lot of tightness in the back of your legs, you might want to bend the knees here. We're trying to stretch your back primarily. So softening the knees can give you a better stretch in the back. And then we're going to roll back up again. So don't worry too much about the breath pattern. Just keep breathing. Roll the shoulders at the top and stretch up high. Keep grounding through the feet. Pull the shoulders back down if they've crept up. And then turn the palms, circle the arms around and down. We're going to do 2 more like that. So big breath in, lengthening all the way up. Chin to chest, heavy shoulders, squeeze the belly in, roll out as you roll down as you breathe out, squeezing the belly in gently. Soften the knees as much as you need to. So you can have quite a deep bend in the knees here if that feels good. And it doesn't matter if your hands get to the floor or not. And then when you're ready, coming back up. I always come back up on another out breath, but that's entirely up to you. Raising the arms up again, stretch up, shoulders down, turn the palms, circle the arms around and down. As you take them down, try and take them back as well, so they come behind you rather than in front of you. One last roll down, big breath in. Oh, here he comes. Breathing out, rolling down. A little bit quicker if you want to now. And when you're ready, teeth tuck in the tailbone and roll them back up. I think we've got a storm headed because it's really warm, but very, very close and grey. One last big stretch up. Now, if you want to, you can come up onto your toes. If you're coming up onto your toes, keep the big toes pressing down and keep the belly squeezing gently in. If you feel stable on your toes, stay there. Circle the arms around and down. Come onto your flat feet whenever you need to. If you're okay on your toes, we're going to do 2 or 3 more arm circles. Ooh, my legs are getting a bit wobbly. Keep the big toe pressing down if you're up on your toes. Keep the inner thigh activated. Gently squeeze the belly in. Ooh, nearly lost my balance there. Okay, and if you're still on your toes, lower down. Staying with some arm movement here. We're going to raise the arms just like we were. Only this time we had a twist. One arm forwards, one arm behind. Turn your head to look down the back arm and release. Again, breathing in. Rotating as you breathe out. Look towards the back arm if you can. Release. 2 more. Keep the shoulders down. And again. Okay, roll through the shoulders. You can keep your arms down like that, or you can take your hands up and get a slightly bigger movement. I'm living in shorts all week. I wish I'd got them on today. It's getting warmer. Now we're going to swap things up a bit. I can't see what you're doing, so don't worry if you get it wrong, but this is so good for your head if you can get it right. It's a bit like rubbing your tummy and your head at the same time. We're going to do those shoulder rolls, but one arm coming forwards and one arm going backwards. If you start it like I did just then, well, I find it a bit easier. Starting one arm first and then going into it. And often you'll find that one way round is easier than the other way round. So now we're going to do it the other way round. So I've forgotten which way we was going, this arm's going to come forwards now. And this one's going to come back. I'd love to know how you get on. I don't know if there's any way that you can put comments in or anything. This is such a Marmite exercise. Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people find it impossible. I've practiced it a lot and I still find it hard, but it gets both sides of the brain going, both sides of the brain working at the same time, so it's a good thing to do. And one more big arm sweep. Gentle back extension here. So we're basically staying straight, just the top of the back leaning back. The top of the rib cage, and then circle the arms around and down again. Just going to do a little bit of work on the neck before we get going. I'm going to take the chin down to the chest again. Keep the shoulders squeezing back, keep the shoulders squeezing down. And then take the right ear to the right shoulder. Keep the left shoulder down, keep the right shoulder down. If you feel a lot of tension in the left side of the neck, then you can gently pull the left shoulder down, or you can take the hand onto the head, the right hand, and gently pull the right ear down towards the shoulder. If you do that, be careful you don't tense up that right shoulder too much. You might not need to, you might not have a lot of tension in the left side of your neck. Normally, if you're left-handed, you have more tension in the left, right-handed, more tension in the right, and vice versa. And then just let the head hang down again. Chin to chest, keep that nice straight posture. And then gently turn so that your left ear comes down towards the left shoulder. Now for most people, that's going to be the tighter side because most people are right-handed. I'm left-handed, so my left side is always my tight side. So you've got the same option. You can take the right hand to the shoulder, pull down. You can take the left hand to the head, gently pull. Try not to activate the shoulder, try not to tense up the shoulder. Just focusing on stretching out between the ear and the collarbone. And then roll in that semicircle, ear to shoulder. Semicircle down, ear to shoulder. Now we're going to slowly take the head back. Keep the shoulders back, keep the shoulders down. Really slowly with the neck. Don't rush anything with the neck, especially when we're just warming up. And then we're doing that same semicircle, going back, around, shoulder to shoulder. Now, stand at the end of your mat, so you've got the mat behind you. I'm not going to do that just yet, so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. But you want to be like this, or the other way around, doesn't matter. Have the mat behind you. And we're going to swan dive. So we've rolled down. Swan diving is like the next level up. So if you're feeling not very strong today, you might want to stick with the roll down. But if you can, do the swan dive. So reaching up, circling the arms around. As we circle the arms around, we reach forwards with our whole upper body. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. So we're pulling our tummy in, trying to keep our back flat, squeezing our shoulder blades together. Come into this parallel position. Make sure you've got weight in your toes. Make sure the whole of your feet are grounding. And then soften down into your forward fold. So we end up in the same position in the forward fold. It was a different way to get there. So now we're going to roll back up, just the same. Roll the shoulders at the top. Let's do it again. This one, you can roll back up or you can swan dive back up. So breathing in, circling the arms around and down as you reach forward. So you're hinging at the hips. Soften the knees as much as you need to. Keep looking down. Come to that parallel position. Shoulders squeezing back. Then soften the arms. Let them hang. Soften the head. Let it hang. You're in your forward fold. So the easier option is to roll back up. Slightly harder version, swan dive back up. So we just did do what we just did, but the opposite direction. So we take the arms out, come back to that flat back, that parallel to the floor position. Use your back muscles and your belly muscles to hinge you at the hips. Raise the arms, circle them around and down. Last one, your choice. We're going to stay down. So you can roll down, you can swan dive down. When we get to the bottom, we're not coming straight back up again. I'm going to swan dive, so arms up, shoulders back and down. Circle the arms back and down as you reach yourself forwards. Relaxed into your forward fold. And now we're doing a halfway lift. So keep your feet flat on the floor, keep some weight in your toes, take your hands to your shins. Breathe in, back to that flat back, parallel to the floor position. Put my hair out of the way so you can see better. Keep looking down at the floor. Breathe out, relax back into the forward fold. Hands to shins, breathe in, lengthen, flat back, squeeze the shoulders back. Relax back down. Last one, hands to shins. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, keep lengthening through the spine. Now we're going to add a rotation. So we're going to take the left hand to the right shin and rotate the spine. Once you've rotated the spine, then you can float the arm up. Don't float the arm up first because that tends to pull you round from the outside in. And in yoga, we always want to work from the inside out. Relax back down. forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders back. Right hand to left shin, rotate the spine, float the arm up. Unwind, relax back down into forward fold. One more each side. So hands to shin first, halfway lift. Left hand to right shin, rotate, float the arm up. Unwind, forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift, flat back. Squeeze the shoulders back. Right hand to left shin, last one. Rotate the spine, float the arm up, and unwind. Forward fold. Now, the reason I wanted you at the end of your mats, I better get up there now, is so that we can step back now. Excuse me. So we're in our forward fold. We're going to take our fingertips to the floor. So if you need to bend the knees here, you bend the knees as much as you need to. Fingertips to the floor or flat hands to the floor, your choice. We're going to step the right foot back as far as you can, and then try and get the left foot in between the hands. So you might need to wiggle your toes up there a little way. Now, it doesn't matter if you're on your fingertips or on your flat hands. Neither of those are comfortable. You can always go over onto your knuckles. Now we're just going to drop the back knee. We've got back knee on the ground, front foot in between the hands, and then squeeze the belly, raise the arms, come into a crescent. So your shoulders are above your knees, which are above your hips, and then a gentle back extension. Push into both feet. I've got the top of my right foot and the sole of my left foot on the mat, and then circle the arms around and down. Pop the hands back down in whatever position works for you. We're going to tuck the toes now, the back foot toes. The right toes tuck, lift the back knee, take some weight into your hands, some weight into your front foot, some weight into your back foot. And we're just gently pushing forwards and back. So the weight goes forwards, the weight goes backwards, push into your back heel, push into your front foot. Try not to curl your spine too much. Keep looking up a little bit, but not too far up. Ooh, the dog's coming up. Okay. And then both hands flat. Step the left foot back. Come into downward dog. So you've got both hands on the floor, both feet on the floor. Find a comfortable position here. So you might need to walk your feet in a little bit. Oops. Oh, this is where I get attacked by the dog. Hands pushing from hands to hips and from hips to heels. And then we're going to walk the feet carefully in. Thank you, baby. Walk the feet carefully in to come into forward fold. I'm supposed to be with my partner right now. I don't know where he's gone. And then up we come. And circle the arms around and down. Now some no. One moment. Johnny! Can you call the dog? Good boy, Nelson. So now we're going to do the same on the other side with less dog. So, big breath in. Circle the arms around and down. Forward fold. So we get there either by a swan dive or by rolling down. And then we're going to take the left foot back. So fingertips to floor or hands to floor, but remember, bend the knees as much as you need to. Left foot back. Right foot shuffles forward if you need it to. Lower the back knee down. Take weight into both feet. Swoop the arms forwards. Use the belly. Push into both feet. And then gentle back extension here. So relax the shoulders. Use your inner thighs to steady you. And circle the arms around and down. Take the hands down. We're going to push into the hands. We're going to tuck the toes under. Raise the back knee. And gently push forwards and back. Forwards and back. A couple more times. Just stretching out the legs. Oh no, he's back. Step. Johnny, can you keep it for more than 3 seconds? Did you get a good view of the dog then? If any of you are fans of Yoga with Adriene, you will know how beautifully behaved her dog is. That's what Nelson used to be like until he got brave. I'm going to turn this way. So we're going to do a similar thing now with a bit of added twisting. So let's roll down or swan dive down, your choice. All the way down. This time we're going to add in a little bit of floppy rotation. So in forward fold, a bit like what we started with. Just starting the move in the centre, going from side to side. Like a floppy rainbow, we call it. Loosening up through the whole of the back. Remember, bend the knees here if you need to. There's no shame in bending the knees. It means you'll get a better stretch in the back and you'll take some of the stretch out the back of the legs. So of course, if you really want to stretch the back of the legs, try and keep the legs straighter. For a lot of people, it's the lower back that's the issue. From here, we're going to take the hands to the floor. We're going to take the right leg back again. Now, your choice this time. You can leave the knee on the floor like we did before, or you can keep the knee up. That's a little bit more challenging, so you choose. If you start with your knee up and you need to change, then you just put your knee back down again. So here, engage the tummy, squeeze the inner thighs, push into both sets of toes, raise the arms, reach forwards, come up. So like we did before, but you might be on your feet rather than on one of your knees. We're repeating that. So reach forwards, circle around, arms come down. One more. Lovely. Stretch through the whole of the spine, push into the back foot. Put the hands down. Remember all your different hand options. Flat hands, fingers, knuckles, whatever works for you. And then we're going to take the front foot back, go into down dog again. Hands flat for down dog. Walk your feet in if you need to. Doesn't matter if your heels are on the floor. We're pushing from hands to hips and from hips to heels. Just take a couple of breaths here. If that's too much for you, drop down into child. So that's bending the knees, pushing back, taking a more restful rest. It's entirely up to you. We're going to transition from here to do the other side. So we want the right foot forwards and the left foot back. So raise the right foot. Swing the foot forwards. If it doesn't get far enough, maneuver it up there. Same thing. You can lower the back knee down or you can keep it up. Push into your feet. Engage your inner thighs. Swoop the arms forwards. Come up. And circle the arms around and down. Now just concentrate on the breath being slow and deep and do what feels like a natural breath pattern for you. Reach forwards. Keep the spine long. Fingertips to the floor, hands to the floor if you can. Right foot steps back. Back into downward dog, or if you need to, take it all the way down into shell. Now here, we're going to do a double knee bend. So we're pushing from hands to hips, really lengthening through the spine. We're bending the knees if we need to. Remember, just like in forward fold, that's an option here too. We're keeping the belly strong, so pushing the belly to the spine. And we're also going to bend the knees. So bend the knees. Option one is to come all the way down to the floor, have a mini rest for a second, and then push back up again. Option two is to hover the knees and then push back up. Option three is to rest. So do what works for you. I've done 3. I'm going to do 7 more, but rest whenever you need to. Make sure you've got the foundation there first, so you're even on both sides. You're pushing into both feet and both hands evenly. You're really stretching through the spine. I'm terrible at counting and talking at the same time. I think that's 7. So remember, if you need to, you rest by just putting your knees down and pushing back into shell. 8, 9 or thereabouts. 10. If you've been resting, meet us back in downward dog. And then we're going to take the right foot forwards. Lift it up first. And then swing it forwards. And now your choice again. We're going to either do high lunge or low lunge. So we've done both. See which works better for you. And we're going to add a twist. I'm going to keep the left hand on the floor. Right hand is going to raise. So if you've got your back knee raised, you look like this. If you've got your back knee down, you're going to look like this. Right knee forwards. Right hand raises. Spine twists like we did at the beginning. Stretch the arm up. And then come back down. 2 more. Stretch up. And back down. 1 more. Stay there. We're now going to take the right hand in between to the other side, of the right foot. So both hands are together inside the right foot. Now remember, you can lower the back knee if you need to here. If you want to, stay up. You're going to take the elbows down. If you can't do that, stay on your hands. But try, left elbow comes down, and then right. You're going to get a much deeper stretch on the inside of your thighs. So it's a little bit easier if you take the back leg down, back knee down. A little bit harder if you have the toes tucked. Couple of breaths here. And if that's too much, just come back onto the hands. And then we're going to do a reverse twisted lunge. So this time the right hand stays down. Always the option to put the knee down here as well. Left hand is going to twist. So left hand raises, spine twists, left hand comes up. 2 more of those. 1, 2, 3. Put the knee down if you're feeling super wobbly. Take the right hand back to the other side of the right leg. Bring the right leg back. We're coming back into our down dog. Pushing into both hands. Adjusting your feet, getting into a good position, pushing from hands to hips. Lengthening the spine, softening the knees. Pushing from hips to heels. So you can stay in a static dog here. We can bend alternate knees and push the heels down. Remember, it doesn't matter if the heels get to the floor or not. Now we're moving the legs, but we're trying to keep the torso reasonably still. So you don't want to be really shifting the hips around, shifting the back around. Use your belly muscles to try and stabilize here. And then we're going to drop the knees down. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten the other side, that's coming. We're going to drop the knees down and push back into child or shell, whatever you want to call it. Take a breath here. And then we're going to meet again on all fours. On all fours, we're going to do some hip circles. So make sure that your knees are underneath your hips and your hands are underneath your shoulders. It's very sunny here. I'm just popping my phone out of the direct sun so that it keeps working. Otherwise, we'll have no internet. So hip circles here. So we're taking the weight to the left, back, to the right, forwards. To the left, back, to the right, forwards. You can do tiny little circles, or you can do much bigger circles. And then we're going to change direction. Go back the other way. Right, back, left, forwards. So moving the spine, moving the hips. You might get some clunks in your knees here. It doesn't matter. If on all fours is not comfortable, you can pad your knees. You can fold the mat over, stick a jumper under your knees, do whatever feels good to you. Okay, we're going to do a similar thing here, but with the weight in our arms. So instead of focusing on moving our hips, we're going to focus on moving our shoulders. So take the weight forwards into your shoulders a little bit, bend the elbows just a little bit, and the same thing with the shoulders. So we'll go to the right first, then forwards, then to the left, then back a little. Only back a little bit, because we want to keep the weight in the hands. So just like when we did the hip circles, you can make them bigger, or you can make them smaller. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. So to the left, forwards, to the right, back. And then push all the way back into your child's pose. Stretch the hands away from you. If you can, you might not have tried a wide-kneed child before. If you haven't tried it, try that now. Take the knees apart, keep the feet together, and stretch the arms forwards. I like to do it with my head onto the side rather than my forehead down. And if you like that option too, then just swap which side you're facing. So do 2 breaths with your head to the right, 2 breaths with your head to the left. If you're happy with your forehead on the mat, then that's fine also. I like this version because it stretches out the inner thighs nicely and it allows your chest to get closer to the mat. If you prefer a traditional child pose, then take that. If you haven't changed your head position and you need to, then do so. And then when you're ready, come back up onto a kind of all fours position. Bring your knees back in if they were wide. Take your hands a little bit wider. Take your weight forwards into your hands. Take your knees back. So we're basically coming slowly into a half plank position. Squeeze the shoulders back, lengthen through the spine. And then we're going to lower down to the mat, keeping the weight in the arms. So bend the elbows, slowly lower down. Try and keep your belly pushing up. So your head's going to get down first, then your chest, then your hips. It might be a second or two difference. Might not even be that, that's fine. Hands come close to your shoulders, bring your shoulders in. Deep breath in here. Lengthen through the spine. So really keep the tailbone pushing down. Lengthen through the spine. And raise the back. Raise the head. Keep the back of the neck long. And then lower down. So we're trying not to push into the hands here. Big breath in. Lengthen the spine. Draw the shoulders back. Raise up. Give me a little wave. And come down again. So do about 3 or 4 more of those. Breathing in, lengthening and raising. Breathing out, relaxing down. Remember, we're not pushing into the hands. One more. Now this time stay up, squeeze your tummy, spread your fingers. And now if it feels okay to your back, push into your hands and come up a little bit higher. If that doesn't feel good for your back, stay down lower. You can still take weight into the arms. Just don't go into such a deep back bend. So it's the same beginning, lengthening, lifting, only then we do push into the hands a bit. Only come up as high as your back feels okay with. So you can keep the arms quite low. A couple more of those. And then on the last one, when you're up, we're going to stay up, squeeze the belly, push the belly to the spine to push the hips up and back. If you want to stretch out the lower back here in a child position, then do. If you want to go straight back onto all fours, then that's an option also. We're going to go back into the lunge that we were working on before, this time with the left foot forward. So we had the right foot forwards before, left foot comes forwards now. Remember, you can have the knee down in the low lunge, or you can tuck your toes under, raise the knee and work in the high lunge. So we're starting with the left hand raising. Deep breath in, left hand raises and comes back down. Left hand raises, spine rotates, arm floats up and down. One more. Lengthen, rotate, float the arm up. This time as you bring your hand down, it's going to come inside the left foot. Now you can stay here, you can drop the knee down, or you can try getting your elbows to the floor. So I would recommend the right elbow comes down first, then the left. If that's impossible, try lowering the back knee. See if that's more possible. If it's still not possible, don't worry about it. Do what you can. Couple of breaths here. And then we're going to come back onto the hands. Left hand first, then right. I'm going to do the reverse twist. So we keep the weight in the left hand. We use the belly to help stabilize us. Remember, you've got the option to put the back knee down. Big lengthening breath. Lengthen the spine. Right hand lifts, spine rotates. Arm shoots up. 2 more like that. Twist and lift. Come back down. Twist and lift. Come back down. Left hand goes back to the outside of the left foot. Left foot is going to step back. We're coming back into down dog. So squeeze the belly in. Take the left foot back. Find your down dog position. Adjust yourself here. So we're pushing from hands to hips. Focusing on stretching through the spine. Squeezing the belly up to the spine, softening the knees as much as you need to. So the primary aim here is lengthening the spine. The secondary aim is lengthening the back of the legs. And again, you've got that option of the knee bend, taking the heel down. Opposite heel goes down, as opposite knee bends. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the weight forwards, drop the knees down, push back into your child position. It can be traditional child with your arms back by your side, or extended child. And the knees together, knees wide. Couple of breaths here. And then we're going to come back onto all fours. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're going to bring the left knee forwards. We've already done quite a lot of hip flexor stretching, but we're going to do a little pigeon. So we're just really making sure that we've got a lot of stretch here. We want to keep the hips level here. So try not to let the right hip raise. Right hip stays level with the left hip. You've got various options with your hands here as well. And if you can see my hands clearly, I'm on my knuckles right now to stretch out this. Traditionally, you'd have your hands flat, but do what feels right for you. Just a breath or two here. Squeeze the shoulders back. So you're pushing the chest forward. So you're keeping the hips level, and you're not rolling over onto the edge of the left thigh. Okay, now we're going to take the left foot over to the right side of the mat. Easier said than done. Sometimes you have to actually physically pick it up and put it there. Almost always, it's not going to stay where it starts. That's fine. So you get it into position. Now, a lot of people get a bit of discomfort in their knee, their back knee when they do this. So you can tuck the back toes under and lift the knee, or you can roll the mat over and pop the knee on a bit of extra padding. A jumper or something works equally well. So we've got our left foot, to the right side of the mat. Weight going into our hands, and we're stretching out the side of the hip. It's quite a deep stretch on the side of the left hip. From here, keeping focused on all the points I've already mentioned, we're going to take our elbows down if we can. Keep the shoulders squeezing back, keep the spine lengthening. If that feels okay, take the arms further away. You can keep going until your head's down. Take a few breaths here. Now, almost definitely, the foot's going to move closer down towards your knee. As long as you're still feeling a stretch in the outside of the left hip, that's what we're aiming for. Slowly begin to move your hands back. When you're ready, push into your hands, raise your chest, squeeze your shoulders back, and then take a lot of weight into the hands and release the left knee. Coming back into an almost all fours position. We're just going to wiggle the hips. So those hip circles that we did before, a couple of those in each direction. Now we're going to do the pigeon on the other side. So get back, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips to start with, lengthening the spine. Right knee comes forwards, left knee goes back. Do what you need to with your hands, squeeze your back, shoulder blades back. Stretch out the left hip flexor. See how the left knee feels. Do you need to tuck your toes under? Do you need some padding under your knee? Are you rolling over too much onto the right side of your thigh? You can stick a cushion there as well to prop you. Okay, so now we're doing the same as we did, but on the other side. So the right foot, I'm terrible with my rights and lefts, the right foot goes to the left side of the mat. Again, you might need to maneuver it there. Check in, does your left knee need a cushion? Squeeze both shoulder blades back. Keep the right foot as high as you can as you slowly maneuver yourself down. Deep breaths. I'm recovering from COVID, so I'm a little bit breathless still. Take it slowly. Maybe you're not going to get down as far as you want to on this side, and that's okay. Get as far as you can. If you're coming down to the ground, you want to be able to relax your arms, relax your upper body. The main stretch, the main tension area is around the hip, the right hip this time. Relax the right leg as much as you can. If it's uncomfortable on your forehead, just like the option in child, you can turn your head to the side. You can have a cushion wherever you need it. And then when you're ready, undoing, getting down to come back up. So slowly walk your hands back towards your knee. Take the weight into the hands. Release the right knee. Knees come back underneath the hips. Hands come back underneath the shoulders. And a couple more hip circles in each direction. And then staying on all fours. Last thing here, before we go over onto our backs, for the last 3 or 4 minutes, we're just going to do a conscious cat. So on all fours, we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back and really lengthen the spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Trying to keep the back as flat as you can. Trying to relax the legs, relax the arms. And just focus on a long, straight spine. And then as you breathe out, chin goes down, tailbone goes down, belly pushes up, shoulder blades stretch away from each other. So we're not doing the cow version, just the cat version. This is the cat version, the arched back. Breathe in, lengthen, 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 back to your flat back. Draw the shoulder blades back. Breathe out, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, curve the spine, push the belly up as high as you can. Breathe in, lengthen back to a flat back. 2 more like that. Now this is a nice gentle mobility exercise. If you were to want to make it into a much harder exercise, you just lift the knees. I say just, it makes it a completely different exercise. Well, a much harder version of the same exercise. Your choice, whether you just want to gently stretch the spine or really work the core and the arms. It's up to you. Stillness now in your flat back. And then bring both knees forwards. Reach the arms up, stretch up, gentle back extension here. Circle the arms around and down. Take your feet out the way. I'm going to go roll back down onto our backs and just relax for the last 2 minutes. So if you can, do a roll back with me. If you'd rather just make your own way onto the mat now, then just find a comfortable lying position. So to get down in this way, we want to have our feet and our knees about hip width, spine nice and long, chin raised to start with, arms come out in front, relax the thighs here. And then to roll back, we just drop the chin, and that allows the fascia in the back to soften, allows the shoulders to soften, allows the tailbone to tuck under. And you're going to roll back to the mat. So use your belly muscles here. Slowly lowering down, relaxing down onto the mat. Once you're there, take your feet wide. turn your palms up to the ceiling. And we're just going to close with some slow, deep breaths. Slow, deep breaths are going to be slightly different to the ones we did at the beginning. Only slightly. So we're going to still focus on breathing in, expanding the rib cage, breathing out fully and deeply. But this time, if you can make the out breath just a little bit longer, that supercharges the relaxation process. So it's a nervous system hack. A deep breath in. Even deeper breath out if you can. So you can count in your head. The typical pattern is to count in for 4 and out for 6, but that might not be available to you. Just do what is available to you. Breathing in. Filling your lungs with air. Maybe even feeling that you're filling your stomach with air too. And then breathing out, letting all of that air come out, taking a little bit longer to get out than it did to get in, if you can. And the only other thing I want you to think about is actively softening as you breathe out. So scan through your head and your shoulders, and your arms, and your legs, and just soften any tension. Sometimes just noticing it is enough to help you let it go. Oftentimes, we don't even realize the tension that we're holding in our face or our jaw or our shoulders. And just becoming aware of it means that we can let it go. A couple more breaths together. Breathing out the six. Soften the eyes. Soften the jaw. Soften the shoulders. Now you can spend as long there as you like. So when you're ready, slowly start to wiggle your fingers. Roll one knee and then the other up towards your chest. Take your hands behind your thighs and pull your knees in towards you. You're going to flex and point the feet a couple of times here. We're going to tuck our chin to our chest, tuck our head to our knees, and gently rock side to side. And then either make your own way back to sitting, or kick your knees, kick your feet, and breathe out strong as you come up to sitting. Big breath in here. I'll just turn around to say goodbye. I hope you can see me okay. It's gone very dark. Big breath in and big breath out. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. I saw Nelson getting involved there and
Added dog.
trying to help. I had a few people in the comments. Howard asked, do you do yoga on a regular basis?
I do, yeah.
How often do you do it?
I've had a break for a little while because my dad's been really unwell, but I'm starting back week after next. I think I do 2 Pilates classes a week and 2 yoga classes a week normally. So on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
So that's definitely keeping you busy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, but no, that was brilliant. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I will chuck you backstage while I end this, and I'll talk to you back there. And yep, thank you people for watching. And yep, that is us done.